Hello, everybody. How's it going? DishNet34 Rob Tomlinson here, welcoming you to today's broadcast of This Week in Perfect Team episode number 234 for PT Elite Part 2. That's right, folks. We got some packable PT Elite cards that are going to be revealed today. I am looking forward to it. Whoo boy! Heck yeah! Amen. All that good stuff. Real quick before we get started, I'm probably going to be going a little bit quicker than I usually do with these kind of streams because I have a hard out today for work at 1:15, so that is 75 minutes from now. I'm trying to keep it under 75 minutes today, unfortunately, for those of you who are looking for your drops today. But you know what? I can't help that whatever was scheduled for 1:15 is scheduled for 1:15. So here we are. So we're going to go ahead and get started quickly here today. And we're going to get started with a couple of big announcements for Perfect Team 24 and for Out of the Park 24 in general. And the first thing is, I heard someone in the chat say that they were looking to spend some money on like a sale or something. Well, guess what, folks? You picked a dang good time to say that because, oh, hang on, there it is. We have a winter sale going on right now for Out of the Park 24 with a new big discounted price of just $9.99. That's right, starting today until January 4th, 2024, Out of the Park 24 is now just $9.99. So if there was ever a time for you or your friends or your friends' friends to get in on Out of the Park Baseball 24, now is a great time to do so. You got Perfect Team, you got the base game, the award-winning, critically acclaimed base game as well. Folks, what's not to like about Out of the Park 24? Heck yeah! But guess what? It's not just the game that is on sale. That's right, folks, because we also got a perfect point sale. We got a perfect point sale up to 30% off perfect points now until January 1st, 2024, New Year's Day at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So fun stuff. We got some sales coming up. Heck yeah. I believe those should be going live here very soon in terms of the live stream. I'll get a little bit of a confirmation there from the powers that be as to when the sales go live, but they should be live very, very soon. So, Out of the Park Baseball 24, just $9.99 until January 4th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And the perfect point sale up to 30% off. Offer ends January 1st, 2024. All right, folks. Now, if that's not enough of a great holiday gift, that's not as good of a holiday gift, you know what? We got a little bit something more. We got a little bit something more because this Friday, that's tomorrow, folks. Everyone in the game, regardless of whether or not they're a PT Plus subscriber or not, because this isn't a PT Plus thing. This is for everybody in the game. Everybody who has an account in the game is going to be getting a free silver pack, gold pack, and diamond pack as a way to celebrate the holidays because it is 4 days away until Christmas. One of the best gift-giving holidays that's out there. One of the top ones that's out there. So why not get a great gift? Why not give a great gift out to a lot of our very, very awesome players? Everyone getting a free silver pack, gold pack, and diamond pack. The time of the packs is to be determined, but should hopefully be in the morning or afternoon Eastern time. We'll get some just stay tuned on Friday. The packs will come. And finally, I don't know if y'all were watching yesterday or something like that, but paying attention yesterday. But we have new pop-up tourneys that are available for entry right now. That's right. We have 5 brand new traditional tourney pop-ups and 2 perfect draft pop-ups that are available for entry right now. And apparently the pop-up perfect drafts are already full. Man, y'all really filled those up very dang quick. Goodness gracious. Can we open the packs Friday, or do we have to wait until Monday? Ooh. That'll depend on y'all. That'll depend on y'all, I guess. December 24th at 10 a.m. we will have the How the Grisham Stole Christmas pop-up fire off. That's 256 teams in OOTP Era Iron non-special edition card tournament. Modern environment, DH on, playing at, see if you think he's being... Okay, no worries. Okay. Yep, I get the joke now. All right, because Monday is Christmas. Okay, can we open the packs? All right, now I get the joke. All right, took me a little bit. We're good. On December 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will have the Feast of the Seven Sporers pop-up tournament. That's a 256-team best-of-7 1481 cap tournament being played at Tiger Stadium. So that's going to be a fun one coming up. On the same day at 11 p.m. Eastern, just as Santa is making his last rounds through the Western Hemisphere, we have the Building Toys While Everyone Sleeps pop-up. I know y'all parents out there probably know the feeling of that. 256 teams, best of 7 with dead ball cards, dead ball silver cards, it looks like. Well, dead ball silver and I believe silver and under cards. And it's going to be played in a 1920 environment with the DH on and played at Weigman Park. All right, December 25th, we got a couple of pop-up tournaments ready to go for Christmas Day. At 9 a.m. Eastern, the Memories Are Worth It pop-up will be firing off. 256 teams, a best-of-7 minimum golden years cards. 1984 environment with a DH played at Ebbets Field. And then, on December 25th, Christmas night, 8 p.m. Eastern, it is the We Only Get 30 Sweet Noggy Days pop-up. With 256 teams, it's a best-of-7 open tournament, 1995 run environment with ADH. So some fun stuff coming up with the traditional tournaments, and they are all a 1,000 perfect point entry fee. So something to consider while you're making your choice as to whether or not you would like to join one of these pop-ups. And of course, I mentioned we have a couple of perfect draft pop-up tourneys that are going to be happening. Unfortunately, they are all full right now, but so it's a little late to get in on this, but we at least want to inform you that these are things that are happening. On December 24th, Christmas Eve at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will have the You Sit on a Throne of Lies pop-up with a 256-team best-of-7 perfecto draft with a 2003 environment, DH on, played at Yankee Stadium. And then, on Christmas night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will have the Jelly of the Month Club pop-up. That's one I am in, actually, if I do recall correctly. That is 256 teams, a best-of-7 perfecto draft, 1989 run environment with a designated hitter. Now, because of... Now, the perfecto drafts, you have to pick 2 cards in each round from an array of 6 in each of the 13 rounds. They are all perfect cards. Hence the name Perfecto Draft. I know y'all have been waiting for a Perfecto Draft. We now have enough to be running them. Heck yeah. But because it's 6 in each round, there is a different position breakdown. Please note that right up there. It is 24 starting pitchers, 6 relief pitchers, 6 catchers, 6 first basemen, 6 second basemen, 6 third basemen, 6 shortstops, 6 left fielders, 6 center fielders, and 6 right fielders that you will see in this particular draft. So keep that in mind when you're drafting your team, because it's not the usual 10 per position. Now, what are the prizes for these pop-up tournaments? Well, for the traditional pop-up tournaments, first place gets a brand new kind of pack. It is an all-perfect pack. All-perfect pack. That means that is a pack that has 6 perfect cards in it. And it is a 50-50 split on whether or not each one is a historical or a live card. Ooh, boy. So that's going to be a fun first place prize right there. It is also the prize for the Perfect Draft pop-up tournaments for first place. In the traditional tournaments, because of the entry fee, first place will also receive 100,000 perfect points as well. Second place will, in both tournaments, both traditionals and perfect drafts, will get 2 historical rainbow packs. In the traditional, you will also get 70,000 perfect points. Third and fourth place will get a historical rainbow pack, 1 historical rainbow pack. In the traditional pop-up, that will be along with 25,000 perfect points. 5th through 8th place will get 1 rainbow pack, regular rainbow pack. In the traditional tournaments, you will get 5,000 perfect points extra as well. 9th through 16th place is going to get 1 historical diamond pack. In the traditional sense, you'll get traditional tournaments, you'll get 2,000 perfect points as well. 17th through 32nd in both tournaments will get 2 historical gold packs. 33rd through 64th getting 2 historical silver packs, and 65th through 128th will get 1 historical silver pack. So, fun stuff, folks. Fun stuff. Alrighty, so there's a look at the pop-up tourneys. I hope y'all enjoy them, because I know I'm in a couple of them. I'm in one of the traditional ones, and I believe I'm in the Spore one, if I recall correctly. And also, I'm in one of the Perfect Draft ones. So that's going to be fun. And also, we are planning on cooking up some pop-up tournaments for around New Year's as well. So stay tuned for that. And I don't know why my Slack notification went off. That should be muted. There we go. All right. So, there's a look at the pop-up tourney prizes. And also, you might see a familiar name in some of the New Year's pop-up tournaments. Just a little fun little tidbit there for the future. All right, and real quick, before we get to our content today, here's a look at the LE card numbers as of this morning. Cal McVeigh, 98 overall, 40 out of those 50 have been pulled. Joey Devine, we have 38 out of those 50 pulled. Tommy John, we have 17 out of those 50 pulled. And Shin-Soo Choo, which was released yesterday on the Tuesday Tourney Treasure Trove stream, 13 out of those 100 cards have been pulled. Alrighty, folks, it is time! It is time to get started here today with our continuation of our PT Elite series, focusing on notable players and performances from the 2023 MLB season. We have packable cards here today. We have 16 cards in total. Today, I'm going to be showing off 11 of them here today. Just because, I'm a little bit strapped for time today. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, we have 16 cards. 11 of them will be shown on stream today. And we'll also have a slide with the other 5 names as well. So, let's get started today with our first card of the day. And folks, I gotta say, one of the funniest moments of the 2023 MLB season, in my personal opinion, came early on in the year, in late April, and it comes to us from a little radio station called ESPN 1000 in Chicago. All right. And there was a radio show going on talking about Chicago sports. And we have to shout out Berto from West Side, who went on probably one of the best radio rants that I think has ever been done by a caller on sports talk radio. Went on an angry rant about his favorite team in late April. And, there were quite a few notable quotes from that, but he also mentioned this. Let's go to the clip, folks. And this is going to be our first card of the day.
Think about the things Grifol said. Come to the park. We're going to kick everyone's butt. They must have been talking about the fans, not the other teams. The entire lineup is batting under 220. The best hitter on the team is Jake Burger.
That's right, 81 overall, Jake Burger from the Chicago White Sox is here as our first PT Elite card on the day. There was a little debate about whether or not to give him the White Sox and the Marlins, but, we had to give White Sox fans a little bit of a bone. We had to throw him a bone. I mean, he was their best hitter for like the first month of the season. Oh, we got 70 BABIP, 134 power, 54 avoid K, 98 contact, 94 gap, and 45 I. Against lefties, he's got 67 BABIP, 156 power, 56 avoid K, 103 contact, 92 gap, and 45 on the eye. This is a big power card right here. He can play first, he can play second, he can play third. He is listed as a second baseman, all things considered. 56 range, 72 error, 85 arm, and 59 on the turn double play. He is not a speedy guy either. 15 speed, 20 stealing, 64 on the base running. Jake Burger is a guy that hits dingers. And that's pretty much his calling card, all right? The Marlins got a good one at the trade deadline here, all right? But overall, during the 2023 season, he hit 250, 309, 518 with 34 homers, 80 RBI, a 120 OPS plus, and a 1.1 wins above replacement. And even though he got traded mid-season from the White Sox to the Marlins, he still finished second on the team with 25 homers with the White Sox. I don't know if that's an indictment of the White Sox offense in 2023, but here we are. This was actually Jake Burger's really his first full season. I mean, he always was a power hitter in the minors. He was always a really good hitter in the minors. And this is just, a confirmation that, he can kind of hit a little bit at the MLB level. And, he hit very well when he got traded to Miami at midseason because they needed a lot of hitting at that point. He hit 303 with an 860 OPS in 53 games with the Marlins. So, Jake Burger, hey, maybe he could be a valuable part of the Marlins offense going forward. But last year, he was probably the one of the best hitters in the White Sox lineup for a little bit, at least in terms of power. So there you go, Jake Burger, 81 overall from the Chicago White Sox. He is in Perfect T 24. All right, there's a few golds in this set. That's the one I really wanted to show off, if only to be able to play that clip, because it's an elite clip. An elite clip for an elite card. All right, let's go to some diamond cards here today. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diamond cards to show off here today. And we're going to start out in the NL East for this one. And it is going to be probably one of the best hitters, one of the better hitters that they had in their lineup throughout the entirety of the regular season. And that, my friends, comes from their outfield. It is 92 overall, right fielder Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas for the Washington Nationals. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention the name of the team. Lane Thomas from the 2023 Washington Nationals. 105 BABIP, 87 power, 56 avoid K, 109 contact, 105 gap, and 51 on the eye. A St. Louis Cardinals legend as well, Lane Thomas. Some pretty interesting splits here against lefties. He's got 106 BABIP, 92 power, 73 avoid K, 120 contact, 110 gap, and 53 on the eye. Kind of a little bit of the same shape against righties. 104 BABIP, 85 power, 50 avoid K, 105 contact, 103 gap, and 51 on the eye. He can play all three outfield positions, is definitely a little bit better in the corners than he is in center field. 77 range, 78 error, and 108. 108 on the outfield arm. Has a little tiny bit of speed on him. 66 speed, 79 stealing, 73 on the base running. Not exactly game-changing speed, but decent enough to maybe possibly make a difference. We'll see. Lane Thomas this year, 268, 315, 468 on the slash line. This is a big breakout year for Lane Thomas. 28 homers, 86 RBI, 114 on the OPS plus. That is a career high for him in a full season, and 3.3 wins above replacement. He was a good find for the Nationals. He's been a good find for them the last couple of years now. This is his second full year as a starter with the Nationals. Led the team in homers and total bases. Finished second in wins above replacement and RBI on the team, with a career-high BABIP of 325. 325. That is far and beyond like his best. Like, he had a 308 BABIP in like 34 games with the Cardinals in 19. But man, oh man, 2023, he just kind of put it all together. Really kind of put it all together this year. So there you go. Lane Thomas, a very, very interesting card. You know, he had some good moments for the Nationals this year. 100%. Let's see. Yep, 325 BABIP. He had, what was his WPA? His win probability added was a 1.7, which that's not bad either. He also threw in 20 stolen bases as well. So a 2020 season, almost a 30-20 season for Lane Thomas. So a little bit of speed on him there as well. So there you go. Lane Thomas from the 2023 Washington Nationals. He is it. Perfect team. 24. And let's see. What are his splits here? Kind of curious. Oh, yeah. And the guy was very splitty. Very, very splitty on his platoon splits this year. 332 average against lefties. 242 against righties, but he had more homers against righties than he did against lefties. 19 homers to 9, but the righties was in a sample of 490 plate appearances. The 9 against lefties was in 192 plate appearances. So there you go, Lane Thomas. All right, next up, let's stay in the National League East here today. And we're going to go, hey, you know what? We talked a little bit about the Marlins earlier with the Jake Burger card. So why not, make it up to y'all with a Miami card? And folks, let me tell you, Miami, they had a pretty decent pitching staff this year. Pretty decent pitching staff for the Marlins this year. And one of the stud pitchers that they had on their team came from their bullpen this year. Ladies and gentlemen, 94 overall, left-handed reliever from the Miami Marlins. It is Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott, 128 stuff, 125 movement, 125 homer rating, 92 pitcher BABIP, and 88 control. Let's talk about the splits here. 151 stuff against lefties, 119 movement, 120 homer rating, 108 pitching BABIP, but 76 on the control. Against righties, he's got 121 stuff, 127 movement, 125 homer rating, 86 pitcher BABIP, and 92 on the control. So a lot better control against righties as a left-handed pitcher. But when you face him off against lefties, that control, not great. It's not great. Like not even close, really. He's got fastball and slider combo. Fastball rated at a 91, slider rated at a 106. He can throw 97 to 99 miles an hour. Ground ball, fly ball tendency is at a neutral rating right there. 16 stamina and 40 on the hold runners as well. Now, this was probably, Tanner Scott, he started with the Orioles. He kind of stunk. All right, let's not sugarcoat it a little bit. He did get 25 games with the Orioles in the shortened 2020 season, and he looked decent enough as a relief piece. But when he got to Miami in 2021, he kind of started to stink a little bit again. But this year, as a 28-year-old, it just kind of clicked for him this year. 74 games in the 2023 season, 78 innings pitched. He had 12 saves for the Marlins in the regular season. I don't believe he was their closer because A.J. Puck was their closer. He had 15 saves. Tanner Scott had 12 of them. But 74 games, that was the most among anybody in the Marlins pitching staff. Had a 2.31 ERA, a sterling ERA. 12 strikeouts per 9, 2.8 walks per 9. Those are like, oh my goodness, numbers. Okay, so Tanner Scott took over in August from Puck. Okay, so he took over as a closer. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that kind of translates a little bit to a 4.33 strikeout to walk ratio. Again, a career high for him. He also set a career high in strikeouts with 104, besting his 90 strikeouts in 62 2/3 innings last year for the Marlins. He was also third among NL relief pitchers in ERA and fourth in strikeouts per 9 with a minimum of 60 games in National League among National League relievers. His whip was a .987. That was a career low. But before y'all say, okay, that 2.31 ERA might be a little bit of a mirage, right? In fact, it could have been even better. His FIP during the regular season, 2.17. 2.17 FIP. So this guy was just absolutely balling out. And this is despite giving up a 291 BABIP, which honestly is right around league average. So this guy, one of the dominant relievers in MLB this year, and we got a pretty decent low diamond card to kind of reflect that a bit. So there you go, Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott from the Miami Marlins is it. Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, folks, let's talk about the New York Mets. We need to talk about the New York Mets. And as much as I hate to do it, the Mets did not have a great year. I think we have kind of established that by this point. I know Rich doesn't want to talk about the Mets, but we're going to have to talk about the Mets here. And yes, the Mets, they also played. They also played during the regular season. But if there's one consistent guy that the Mets had when it comes to power hitting, all right, it has to be this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, from the New York Mets, first baseman, 95 overall, it is the polar bear, Pete Alonso. 51 BABIP, 167 power, 67 avoid K, 99 contact, 75 gap, and 104 on the eye. Against lefties, he's got 52 BABIP, 173 power, 67 avoid K, 102 contact, 75 gap, and 104 on the eye. Against righties, he's got 50 BABIP, 166 power, 67 avoid K, 98 contact, 75 gap, and 104 on the eye. This is an interesting card for a lot of reasons. One, Pete Alonso did not have great BABIP luck this year. Like, not even close. The absolute worst BABIP of the year, of his career. 205 BABIP. That's not, it's not great. All right, that's what I'm trying to say here. But he still hit 217, 318 on base, 504 slugging, still hit 46 homers. He still managed to launch 46 balls out of the ballpark and bring in 118 runs and have a 122 OPS despite that. And you know, when you take a look at Pete Alonso's stats here a little bit, if you kind of dig deep a little bit, his strikeout rate was around 23%, which is definitely a lot higher than it has been in previous years. I mean, like last year was around 18.7%. The year before that was around 19.9%. So a little bit of a regression, I guess we could call it, for Pete Alonso. But his walk rate was still right around his career average, 9.9% as well. But I kind of want to see a little something here. If I can get into... I want to see... qualified for batting title. 2023 season. I want to see what some of the worst BABIPs were. Because I want to put this into context a little bit. So Pete Alonso, among all qualified hitters in Major League Baseball, had the worst BABIP in Major League Baseball at that 205 mark. Only 4 points worse than the next worst, and that was Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies, who hit just $197. So this was a historically bad BABIP year for Pete Alonso. And yet, the dude still received votes in MVP voting. And yeah, he was worse than Schwarber in terms of BABIP. Crazy, isn't it? But, you know what? This was his fourth straight non-shortened season with 35 or more home runs. So that's still pretty darn good. He was an all-star this year as well. Career high fly ball rate of 35.4% as well. Defensively, he's got 51 range over at first base, 65 errors, 72 arm, and 53 on the turn double play. Speed, stealing, and base running, he's got 13 speed, 64 stealing, 74 on the base running. So there you go. Pete Alonso from the 2023 New York Mets. He is in. Perfect team. 24. Alrighty. Next up, let's go to the Texas Rangers. That's right, your world champion. Texas Rangers. And you know what? The Rangers, we've talked about Corey Seager. We've got Marcus Semien as a tournament reward. Now, folks, let's talk about one of the other well, we talked about Corey Seager as actually a baseball reference card. But we have Evan Carter as another PT Elite card. But this guy right here, another underrated part of their hitting core that really didn't get talked about a lot, but was still very effective for the Rangers in their quest for a world title. And that, my friends, is the guy who donned the tools of ignorance for the majority of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, 97 overall catcher from your world champion Texas Rangers. It is Jonah Heim. Jonah Heim, 89 BABIP, 79 power, 84 avoid K, 105 contact, 96 gap, and 78 on the eye. Look at these splits here, folks, because this is kind of going to be maybe a little bit of a platoon guy here for you. 103 BABIP, 68 power, 96 avoid K, 118 contact, 100 gap, and 77 on the eye. Now, the splits against righties are a little bit interesting here. 85 BABIP, 82 power, 80 on the avoid K, 101 contact, 94 gap, and 79 on the eye. Defensively, he can play catcher. Don't know why we have outfield range, error, and arm out there, but I mean, if the game wants to stick him in the outfield, I mean, more power to it. But catcher ability of a 106, catcher arm of a 98. He is not trainable in the outfield, unfortunately, but 106 catcher ability, 98 catcher arm. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. 18 speed, 80 stealing, and 71 on the base running for Jonah Heim. 2023 season for Jonah Heim, probably one of the best ones of his career. Like, the dude is still fairly young. Still fairly young. This was his age 28 season. He says as he is also 28, and he just called a 28-year-old young still. 258, 317, 438 with 18 homers, 95 RBI during the regular season, and a 103 OPS plus. Arguably the best hitting season of his career. He was an all-star in the 2023 season, plus won his first Gold Glove of his career this year. That's a pretty good accomplishment. Defensively, he caught 29% of base stealers from behind the plate, about 8 points above the 21% league caught stealing percentage. So he got 24 guys. That's not bad. Did give up 31 wild pitches and 7 passed balls during the regular season, which honestly I really don't have much of a context for that, but I guess it's not terrible given everything. I just would want to see like an average or something like that. But anyway, Jonah Heim career highs in wins above replacement. He was at a 2.9 clip this year. Homers, he had a career high in RBI, and he also played in the most games he ever had in a career, 131 games. Only took 31 games off during the regular season for the Texas Rangers. So this guy still has a lot of career ahead of him. A lot of career ahead of him for Jonah Heim. This is a little bit of a fun card here. Bit of a more contact-focused card. Not going to get a whole lot of homers off of Jonah Heim, but it's not a terrible guy. Not a terrible guy. So there you go. Jonah Heim from the 2023 Texas Rangers. He is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty. We're a little under halfway through today's set here. Hopefully you've been enjoying this so far. I know I have been. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and move on to our next card. You know what? I'm going to enjoy this set a little bit more because we are going to be talking about everyone's favorite team, the Detroit Tigers. Alrighty, the Detroit Tigers. Everyone's favorite team of our favorite out of the park employees. And ladies and gentlemen, there were quite a few Tigers that were actually halfway decent this year. I know, it's crazy to think about. So, if there was, yeah, and guess what? This next guy is a pitcher. It's a pitcher. Like the Tigers usually in the last few years haven't been great at pitching. But this guy has so much promise in him. This guy has so much promise in him if he can just stay healthy. And you know what? What we saw of him when he was healthy during the regular season was pretty darn good. Possibly a setup for more to come? We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, 98 overall left-handed starter from your Detroit Tigers. It is Tarik Skubal. Tarik Skubal, 142 stuff, 120 movement, 111 homer rating, 97 pitcher BABIP, and 92 control. Against lefties, he's got 153 stuff, 109 movement, 100 homer rating, 105 pitcher BABIP, and 90 control. Against righties, though, very interesting splits here. 138 stuff, 123 movement, 114 homer rating, 95 pitcher BABIP, and 92 control. This is a pretty decent left-handed pitcher right here. Now, 77 stamina, 77 on the whole runners, so he's not going to go far as a starting pitcher potentially. Might be a little bit of a bullpen guy potentially. We shall see. He can throw 95 to 97 on the velocity, neutral ground ball, fly ball tendency. He has a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, and a sinker as well. So, for the 2023 season, Tarik Skubal was not bad. 7-3 record, a 2.8 ERA in 15 games started during the regular season, 11.4 strikeouts per nine, and 1.6 walks per nine. Now, obviously, a lot of people might kind of scream, small sample size at him. And I mean, you would have a point a little bit. I mean, he only had 80 and a third innings pitched during the regular season. Had 117 and 2/3 innings pitched last year before the whole injury stuff because of the flexor tendon in the arm there. But you know what? He was doing okay before that injury in 2022. And now that he's back, he's got a chance to really do something in the next few years for the Tigers. And, hopefully the Tigers are going to be able to keep him around. That's going to be the big question moving forward the next couple of years, because I feel like he's got maybe a couple more years of control left. So we'll see how the Tigers kind of want to play out here. But Tarik Skubal, pretty darn good year. Did amass a career high in wins above replacement despite only playing in 15 games. 2.0 wins above replacement. Began the season just on July 4th after coming back from flexor tendon surgery. Had the first winning record of his career with that 7-3 record, and a career high strikeouts per nine, and despite only being in 15 games, he led all Detroit starting pitchers in ERA and finished second in wins. So, it's some interesting stuff here from Tarik Skubal. And that was with Eduardo Rodriguez in the rotation, folks. So there you go. Tarik Skubal, very interesting card right here. Could be a decent lefty reliever option for some of the, higher ranking teams. Could be a decent starter in the lower levels. It'll be interesting to see how this card gets played. 100%. So there you go. Tarik Skubal, 98 overall from your Detroit Tigers, is it. Perfect Team 24. All right, we got one more diamond to show off before we get to the 4 perfects that we have in today's set. And folks, man, it's kind of been a little bit of a National League East kind of day. We had the Nationals, we had the Marlins, we've had the Mets. Let's go to Atlanta. Let's go to Hotlanta. Well, actually, more like Cobb County, but I digress. Let's go to Hotlanta here. And you know what? They had some really great offensive pieces this year. I mean, you had Acuna, you had Matt Olson, you got a lot of great guys. But this guy right here was one of the best power hitting third basemen in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, 98 overall third baseman from the Atlanta Braves, it is Austin Riley. Austin Riley, 103 BABIP, 118 power, 45 avoid K, 111 contact, 94 gap, and 79 on the eye. As a right-handed hitter, some interesting splits. 94 BABIP against lefties, 135 power, 46 avoid K, 111 contact, 85 gap, 89 on the eye. Against righties, got 106 BABIP, 112 power, 45 avoid K, 111 contact, 97 gap, and 76 on the eye. Defensively, he's not bad over at third base. 79 range, 80 error, 92 arm, and 81 on the turn double play. Speed, stealing, and base running, not quite there. 25 speed, 63 stealing, and 63 on the base running. Austin Riley, maybe it wasn't as good as his year last year, which was already and this was still a fantastic year. Obviously. Might not be as good as it was last year, just in terms of OPS plus, sheer counting numbers, but you know what? It was still a really good year. 281, 345, 516 on the slash line for the Braves. 37 homers, 97 RBI, and a 128 OPS plus. He was an all-star, a Silver Slugger, and finished 7th in National League MVP voting. This was his third straight year of 30 or more homers and 30 or more doubles for Austin Riley, and he led all National League third basemen in home runs with that 37 mark. So this was a very good power hitting year for Austin Riley. His BABIP wasn't too bad either. BABIP was at a 324. Not exactly career high, but it's his second highest in his career. And this is also the second best defensive wins above replacement year of his career at a 1.3, just a couple of tenths below his 1.5 mark in 2021. So very interesting stuff here for Austin Riley during the regular season. Obviously, this is another power hitting third baseman kind of guy. So does he break into the meta? Maybe not. I mean, Troy Gloss is still a guy that's out there as 100. But if you get this Austin Riley card, don't have a whole lot of some of the elite options out there for third base, this guy could definitely be a decent starter if you give him some playing time. Maybe in the lower levels, potentially. So there you go. Austin Riley from the 2023 Atlanta Braves. He is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty. Folks, we got some perfect cards for you today. We got 4 of them. And we talked a lot about, Eastern Division teams this year. But we haven't had the AL East yet today. So let's go out there now. Let's go out there to the AL East right now. We're going to start with the Baltimore Orioles. Now, I believe Adley Rutschman is a tournament edition card, so this is not him. So what other young player could potentially, on this Orioles team, could potentially warrant a 100 overall card? I wonder. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the guy at the hot corner for the Baltimore Orioles, your 2023 American League Rookie of the Year. It is 100 overall, Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson, 96 BABIP, 112 power, 63 avoid K, 114 contact, 115 gap power, and 94 on the eye. Against righties, we got 96 BABIP, 117 power, 63 avoid K, 115 contact, 119 gap, and 92 on the eye. Against lefties, though, it's got 93 BABIP, 99 power, 64 avoid K, 108 contact, 102 gap, and 103 on the eye. It's going to be interesting to kind of compare this Gunnar Henderson card to what his future legend card is. Very, very interesting, because you still have a little bit of the righty-lefty split here. All right. But you got maybe a little bit better defense here for Gunnar Henderson. He's got 95 range, 88 error, 98 arm, and 87 on the turn double play. Fully trained at third base and a shortstop. So very interesting. Very, very interesting to see how this Gunnar Henderson is going to turn out in the universe. But overall, Gunnar Henderson, a fantastic year. Fantastic year. 255, 325, 489 on the slash line for Gunnar Henderson this year. 28 homers, 82 RBI, and a 125 OPS plus. Your 2023 AL Rookie of the Year. He was also a Silver Slugger Award in his rookie year, so that's still pretty darn good. He led the Orioles in wins above replacement with a 6.2 and tied for the team lead in home runs. And one of the highlights for Gunnar Henderson this year, 100%, has to be one of the longest homers ever hit at Camden Yards. All right. June 11th, hit a 462-foot moonshot onto Utah Street. One of the longest ever hit onto Utah Street in Orioles history. Pretty cool stuff right there. And this is a pretty decently cool card here. Gunnar Henderson from the 2023 Baltimore Orioles. He is in Perfect Team 24. All right, 3 more cards to go. And boy, oh boy, this next guy right here might just be one of my favorites. One of my favorites in this set right here. And our good pal EVC is asking if this is anyone for the NL West. Well, I'm glad you asked, because this next guy comes from the NL West. And folks, this guy right here, this next guy, had a phenomenal season. Phenomenal season. You know what? A breakout season. A great season for this guy right here. And folks, I think there is someone in this chat that has been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for this particular PT card to come on down from the 2023 season, and it is finally here, ladies and gentlemen. From the 2023 San Diego Padres, it is 100 overall, second baseman, Ha-Seong Kim. Or Kim Ha-Seong, however you want to do this. 100 BABIP, 86 power, 80 avoid K, 115 contact, 90 gap power, 109 I. Woo, baby. Against lefties. Look at these lefty splits here, folks. 107 BABIP, 93 power, 94 avoid K, 129 contact, 99 gap, and 103 on the eye. Against righties, he's got 98 BABIP, 83 power, 76 avoid K, 111 contact, 88 gap, and 110 on the eye. This is a very interesting utility option at the 100 overall level, at least for like an infield utility. 100 range, 100 error, 96 arm, and 98 on the turn double play. He can be played fully trained at second base, third base, and shortstop. Plus, look at the speed here. 92 speed, 99 stealing, 115 on the base running. And he can bunt a little bit too. 94 sack bunt, 68 on the bunt for hit. So this is a very interesting card. This is why it's a little bit of my favorite, because of the positional flexibility that you have on the infield, which honestly I've been looking for quite a long time. But also the kind of the contact profile that I have. I'm a little bit more of a sucker for contact profiles, and I really should be. But the lefty splits here are just pretty darn solid right here. Very darn solid. So Ha-Seong Kim, 2023, a fantastic season for him. 260, 351, 398 on the slash line, 17 homers, 60 RBI, 38 stolen bases, and a 110 OPS plus. He became the first Korean-born player to win a Gold Glove during this particular season. And he had MLB career highs in homers, RBI, stolen bases, wins above replacement, runs, and hits during this season. He got a chance to really break out, and he sure did. Plus, during the regular season, had his first career multi-homer game, first career walk-off homer, and his first career grand slam. How about that, folks? So there you go. Ha-Seong Kim from the 2023 San Diego Padres is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty, folks. We got two more cards, and both of them coming from the Western divisions of MLB. Our next card comes to us from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you know what? The Dodgers, this is, they had some very interesting pitchers during the regular season, and this was probably one of their best pitchers this year. Ladies and gentlemen, from their bullpen, ladies and gentlemen, the 2023, at least one of the best relievers in baseball in 2023, right-handed reliever, 100 overall, Evan Phillips. Evan Phillips, 119 stuff, 123 movement, 107 homer rating, 111 pitcher BABIP, and 113 on the control. It is a tiny bit splitty. Here. Against righties, 126 stuff, 128 movement, 112 homer, 119 pitcher BABIP, and 115 control. That's a lot of hundreds against righties. And heck, a lot of hundreds against lefties as well. 110 stuff against lefties, 116 movement, 102 homer rating, 103 pitcher BABIP, and 111 control. Stamina. He had a 17 stamina, 45 on the hold. Runners can throw 96 to 98 miles per hour. Fastball, slider, and cutter combo for Evan Phillips. And this is, the first season that Evan Phillips has been a closer for the Dodgers. He hasn't been around the team for too long. I believe he only got there, last year after he kind of flamed out a bit in Atlanta and Baltimore in the first couple of years. Then he had a decent-ish time in 2021, but 2022 and 2023 have been absolutely sparkling for Evan Phillips. Had 62 games, 61 and a third innings pitched, 24 saves, a 2.05 ERA, and a 5.08 strikeout to walk ratio, about in line with what it was in 2022. Had a 42.8% ground ball rate, which honestly, not exactly a career high for him, but it's right up there with around his career norms. His fly ball rate this year was around a 27%, which is a little bit above his career average. But he gave up just a 222 BABIP during the regular season, which is pretty darn good. 535 OPS against, which definitely a little bit higher than it was last year when he gave up a 430 OPS. But he had the lowest walks and hits per inning pitched of all Major League Baseball relievers with more than 55 innings pitched. .832, one of the better ones. One of the better ones out there. Heck, one of the best relievers in baseball. So there you go. Evan Phillips, this could be a very interesting option for a lot of bullpens if they if you get this from a pack. So there you go. Evan Phillips from the 2023 LA Dodgers is it. Perfect Team 24. And, it's kind of fitting that we talk about the Dodgers here a little bit, okay? Because, you have guys like Evan Phillips on this roster, but man, oh man, the pitching staff for the Dodgers this year was, let's just say, it wasn't as great as it could have been. All right, there were a lot of experimental stuff. Now there was a lot of injuries, mind you, for the Dodgers pitchers during the regular season. All right, like this, it was not a great year to be a Dodger pitcher. I mean, the rotation was decent, but you had guys who were, injured or underperforming or just young and thrown into the fire, or in the case of Julio Urias, a terrible person. But you know what? The Dodgers brass saw what happened with the pitching. They saw what happened in the postseason, and they decided to do something about it. They decided to do something about it. And let me tell you, when the Dodgers want to do something about it, they really do something about it. And folks, if you want to do something about anything, you go all out. And when you look at the market, all right, the player market that was going around this whole regular season, there's one guy that was pretty much at the top of everybody's list. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a Dodgers card, but it is a card that comes from a Los Angeles baseball team. And ladies and gentlemen, I give to you a packable card, PT Elite, from the Los Angeles Angels. 100 overall right-handed starter. Someone call Ben Verlander because it's Shohei Ohtani! 150 stuff, 117 movement, 96 homer, 122 pitcher BABIP, 87 control. Against lefties, it is 144 stuff, 116 movement, 95 homer rating, 117 pitching BABIP, 86 control. Against righties, 154 stuff, 117 movement, 98 homer rating, 126 pitcher BABIP, and 87 control. 79 stamina, 94 on the hold runners, fastball, slider, curveball, splitter, and cutter. 97, 99 on the velocity, and neutral ground ball to fly ball tendency. Let's talk about Shohei as a pitcher. Let's talk about Shohei as a pitcher. Because you know what? He wasn't that bad. Now, obviously, he had the injury at the end of the year. Sure, fine. It's not great, but Shohei Ohtani, still put up some great numbers in 23 games started. 10-5 record, 3.14 ERA, 23 games started, 11.4 strikeouts per nine, and 3.8 walks per nine. He was the 2023 American League MVP. He was also an All-Star. On June 27th, became the 6th in MLB history with 10 strikeouts and 2 homers in one game. But folks, Shohei Ohtani, as you all may know by now, is not just a pitcher. Ladies and gentlemen, the dude can also freaking mash! 100 BABIP, 151 power, 85 avoid K, 136 contact, 101 gap power, 106 on the eye. Against lefties, he's got 95 BABIP, 132 power, 75 avoid K, 123 contact, 93 gap power, 110 on the eye. Against righties, he's got 102 BABIP, 157 power, 88 avoid K, 140 contact, 103 gap, and 104 on the eye. 67 speed, 95 stealing, 83 on the base running, 77 on the sac bunt, 63 on the bunt for hit. He does have some outfield ratings as well. And the Dodgers say that if his arm gets healed, he might be able to play in the outfield next year, potentially. We'll see how that happens. We'll see if that happens. But man, oh man. Shohei Ohtani in 2023, he hit .304, .412, .654 with 44 homers, 95 RBI, and a .184 OPS+. He was the 2023 AL MVP, won a Silver Slugger during the regular season, led the American League in homers and on-base percentage, led Major League Baseball in slugging, OPS, and OPS+, and led MLB in overall wins above replacement with 10.1 wins above replacement. Folks, there is a lot I could say about Shohei Ohtani, but man, oh man, we would be here all day if I could talk about some of the accolades that Shohei Ohtani had during the regular season. Like, goodness gracious, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of historical stuff that went down during the regular season for Shohei Ohtani. I mean, the guy's just great. He is a great baseball player, and really, 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 really hope that he stays healthy, stays like as good as he is, and just absolutely obliterates baseball for the next 10 years with the Dodgers. Plus, his dog is really cute. Oh my God, have you seen the dog? My goodness. He's cute. He's a cute little guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It is 100 overall. Shohei Ohtani from the 2023 Los Angeles Angels, and he is in Perfect Team 24. Now, like I said, we went through 11 of these cards. There are 5 more cards that are in this set. Here's a look at them right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 86 overall Willie Castro from the 2023 Minnesota Twins. You also got 87 overall Andres Gimenez from the 2023 Cleveland Guardians. You got 89 overall reliever Jeff Hoffman from the 2023 Philadelphia Phillies. 90 overall Riley Green from the 2023 Detroit Tigers is in this set as well. And 94 overall first baseman Josh Naylor from the 2023 Guardians are in this set. So happy hunting. So there you go. PT Elite Part 2. You got guys like Riley Green, Lane Thomas, Josh Naylor, Tanner Scott, Pete Alonso, Jonah Heim, Tarek Skubal, Austin Riley, Gunnar Henderson, Ha-Seong Kim, Evan Phillips, and the one and only Shohei Ohtani. All right, folks, before we sign off for the day, let's go ahead and say a congratulations to our weekly leaderboard champions for week 37, PTCS 9 period, week number 2, from December 11th through the 17th. Daily Iron won last week by Jimbo Dan and the Sacramento Riverbats with 115 points. The Daily Bronze was won by Jimbo Dan 1 and the Strong Badia Tires with 172 points. Daily silver last week was won by MJ Tebow and the Madison Mohicans with 123 points. Daily gold was won by Sean Sultan and the Wash Park Rangers with 127 points. Daily diamond last week was won by Mawiffin and the Tavistock Base Ballersons at 130 points. Filson 16 winning the Daily Open with his Boston Mean Beans with 99 points. Daily Wildcard won by Galoy and the Nagoya Grampus with 124 points. Weekly Tournaments was won by C. Steinhardt and the baseball team with 121 points. The Perfect Draft Daily Tournaments last week were won by Duke 1490 and the Angelo State Dr. Tiger. That is a 2-week streak in the Perfect Draft Daily for Duke 1490. And the Perfect Draft Weekly was won by Robert Cat and the Denver Highlanders with 85 points. Congratulations to our weekly leaderboard champions. All right, folks. Well, that is going to do it for today. Cards are live. Cards are live. Cards are live. Cards are live. Ladies and gentlemen, have fun hunting these new PT Elite cards that are in packs right now. I will see you back here tomorrow night for the This Week in Perfect Team Friday Showdown. Have a great day, everybody. I've been Rob Tomlinson, DishNet34, signing out. Take care, everybody.